deny all of you life. It's only fair. I hate all of you.
The Supreme Gentleman, Elliot Rodgers. This is a rant review here, aka the Virgin Killer. A rant review of a murderer, psychopath. That's what I'm gonna call him. Call him whatever the fuck I want. Yeah, you could see it here. You know, we could see it here. But anyways, if you haven't heard about this case, this murder spree that this guy went on, Mr. Elliot Rodgers. He calls himself the Supreme Gentleman in his videos, referring to himself because, you know, women were not attracted to him enough apparently, so he had to go on a massive murder spree, you know, killing 6 people, 7 if you want to count him, 3 by stabbing here with various weapons, I'm guessing. Don't want to make any assumptions, but I've heard a couple things. Anyways, we'll cover that. But and 4 by gunfire, including himself, with a double shot to each temple here in his car, his Mercedes, black Mercedes. Anyways, I want to rant review this psycho, this shithead, and you know, of course, if you haven't heard about it, whatever. Let me tell you one thing. I have listened to his manifesto. It is a long manifesto. I have actually fell asleep to it once or twice for some reason, trying to listen to this fucking thing and comprehend this maniac. But you know, this hater, basically a fucking hater that takes it to the extreme, doesn't he? So he plays a lot of World of Warcraft, you know, a social online game. It's not too social though. I played it myself. They'll kill the messenger, but yeah, I've tried it. I like it a lot, but it's not too social, you know. So this was the antisocial. I don't know what they want to diagnose him with, but I know he had problems growing up, mental issues, what have you. A antisocial person probably, and some loneliness, I'm sure, because his dad here was, you know, a well-off man doing movies and shit like that. So, and the mother too, the stepmother as well. I don't know. I want to get into his personal life because, listen, bottom line is, when it becomes a problem like that, you need to seek help and treatment, or better yourself, or change your circumstances. Mr. Rodgers here, the Supreme Gentleman, did not want to do that. He wanted just to end his life and take people with him. Never the answer, never the right thing to do. Seek help. And he should have done it. People should have reached out when he saw these videos, and maybe I didn't, you know, wow. When this happened in 2014, I believe. Anyways, Mr. Rodgers here, you know, he's got a lot of hate for Pacific people. But then again, he goes out one night after writing his manifesto or whatever. He waits for people. The only thing that gets me about these roommates of his that he has, he murders them one by one, apparently, as they walk in. That's what the police believe. With some form, they don't really name the weapons, do they? But, and then he tried to clean it up. He believed he attacked them out, I don't know, in the apartment, in the hallway, one by one. That's 3 people down that came into the apartment too. He lived with and someone who was out of town. He had to kill all 3, and then he goes and gets a coffee, what have you, and he starts his shooting spree, shooting into a deli shop, I believe, killing one person randomly. But before that, he went to a sorority house to knock on the door and kill all the women there. So this man was specific in his target. But then again, he wasn't, because he just went all out after that shit. After no one was home, he caught 3, I believe 2 or 3 young ladies on this corner and shot them, maybe killing 2, wounding 1. I don't know for a fact. I don't really care, because this man doesn't deserve too much of that. The victims do, as you can see here. And then he shot into that deli shop. I was talking about, killing this guy randomly, this young man. Fucking tragic as hell. And then he runs over people on bikes, and he rides his black Mercedes and finally crashes it, and then double barrels himself. Man, I thought I would have more to say about Mr. Rodger here, Mr. Elliot, Supreme Gentleman, but I really don't, because, you know what? Just watch the documentaries on this shit. There's really good ones out there on the internet. I give props to those. I just wanted to rant review this man because I did listen and read his manifesto in an audio and listen to it, and I wasn't fascinated at all. I thought he was just a hater, basically, and not even that, but You know, no matter your circumstances, you need to change them, and this ain't the way to change it, Mr. Rodger. And, you know, taking innocent lives, it's a coward move, and we know that. He had everything at his disposal. I just don't think he wanted to pay for, I don't know what it was. I don't even go into it. See, now I feel uncomfortable even fucking giving this man my time. But we will, you know, give the victims their moment, always, number one, and we'll give them the moment. But man, Mr. Rogers here is a piece of shit. So, and you know, I've seen his dad talk on the internet. Don't care for it. Don't want to hear the fucking excuses. You created a monster like Frankenstein, but you couldn't fucking stop him in time. And the signs were there, and he knew. And it's just a shame. And I believe they sued this man, the father, Mr. Rodger. He was no fucking Mr. Rogers, I'll tell you that, but they sued him. They should have got some money, that's for sure. Should have took him all he was worth, creating a fucking monster like this and letting him loose on society. Yeah, terrible outcome here, but the Supreme Gentleman was not a Supreme Gentleman in the end. He went out like a little punk and took his own dome and took people with him. So fuck him and his little joyride. And that's that. The Supreme Gentleman, the Virgin Killer. Oh shit, I did say the Virgin Killer, by the way. This man was a virgin. Never got laid, never scored, never felt the warmth, never smelt the smells. So he is a punk ass, isn't he? He should have left the earth a virgin. So there you go, Mr. Elliot Rodgers.
Obnoxious men. Instead of me, the Supreme Gentleman.